Welcome back. So, you're hearing this information about how consciousness and thoughts aren't the same thing, and you're probably wondering, that's great, Josh. What do I do with this information? So, my thoughts aren't me, but I still hear them. They're still there. I still have these concepts and these notions floating across the expanse of my mind in all of their negativity, and I can't get rid of them. How do I stop them? How do I challenge them? How do I get these thoughts to just quit so that I can live my best life? And it is challenging to do that. They aren't necessarily going to go away, but becoming aware of them is the secret of controlling them. Now, in the Intro to Mindfulness course, again, this is a review, we talked about this in great length. In fact, that was probably the largest section of that Intro to Mindfulness course, was a very detailed approach in tackling how we challenge our negative thoughts. And what I offered in that course was a cognitive behavioral therapeutic modality to control those thoughts. CBT, if you don't know anything about it, was pioneered by the great Aaron Beck, and over the many decades, it has been utilized by psychologists and therapists and researchers in showing how individuals can really make sincere and effective change in controlling their thoughts, their emotions, and their behaviors. It is very well documented. It works very well in doing exactly this. And if you know anything about me in terms of the courses that I've taught, or if you've been in the courses that I've taught, you know that as of this recording, I feel like I have to say that, I'm a licensed master social worker with minors in psychology and sociology. I have used these techniques with hundreds, if not thousands, of individuals. I have definitely trained thousands and thousands of professionals across the United States in these types of techniques and how to utilize them. These are very effective. They work very well. All right, so let's break down just in brief. It's not going to be as long as what we offered in the first course, but just as a reminder of how to challenge these negative thoughts, what those first steps look like. So what it was that we offered was how to bring awareness to them first. And anything that we know about real change, real effective change, that we can document it on paper and see it and understand that it has now acquired this new level of longevity so that we don't have to worry about it so much in the future, it's going to take about 21 to 28 days to really see the effects. Now, that doesn't mean that you're not going to notice some nuances early on about how this is impacting your day-to-day differently, or how you're feeling better, or how the challenges are different in terms of your brain being rewired, because that's what we're doing, is we're reprogramming the mind. But in order for it to really take full effect, it's going to take about 28 days of regular practice. And what it was that I offered in the first course was for you to employ a journaling exercise. It's not one that takes a long amount of time. It's about 5 to 10 minutes at the end of each day, but it's very detailed in the information that you're writing down in terms of the event that's taking place and the cues that you're experiencing and how you're going to respond to it, or how you're going to change your thinking around whatever it is that's going on. And I'm going to offer those same exercises here in this module so you have quick, ready access to them. But I'm not going to necessarily go into full explanation for every single one of those. But what you would do is take that journaling sheet, that exercise, and you're going to write down your 4 different cues: your physical cues, your behavioral cues, your emotional cues, and your cognitive cues, what you're thinking, what the negative thoughts are, and how those centralize around a particular event, a particular situation, whether it's somebody cutting you off in traffic, or somebody speaking to you negatively over the water cooler, if we have those anymore, or an argument with a spouse, or an argument with a child. You'll generally see that there's typical events that spark up your emotions or your negative thoughts regularly, more regularly than other events. And once we recognize those events and recognize the cues that we respond with in those, you find that you start to garner control over how you respond and over what you do, because you'll see the event, You become aware of it. You're quicker to recognize it. And once you're able to do that, you'll say, oh, here comes that negative thought. Oh, here comes the sweatiness in my palms and the palpitations of my heart. Here comes my urge to withdraw from this situation and kind of go back into my corner, into my bubble, and push everyone else away. You start recognizing how you're physically, emotionally, cognitively responding to events that oftentimes are centralized around these negative thoughts. And when you can do that, you're able to stop them. You're able to stop what's happening because it's not so much reacting. You're now responding. You're able to step outside of your thinking and gain control of your thinking. And that's what we want to accomplish. We want to allow you, or to give you the tools to be able to think about your own thinking and control your own thinking. And when those negative thoughts surface and come across, you can watch them and see that they are not a part of you. They are a reaction to a situation that we have essentially fed over and over again, so they've become so quick we forgot to take pause and recognize that that's not who we are and not how we want to be. So that's essentially the basics of the exercise, of the CBT exercise. And again, I'm going to offer those here underneath this, so you can look at those and review those PDFs. You can print them off, you can start journaling, but you have to do the work. You have to do it. You can't just read through it and go, oh yeah, that sounds like a great idea. I get it. I cognitively get it. I understand it. I see how this is supposed to work. And then just pass it off to the side. And I know there's people out there that will do that. And you may be one of them, because I used to be one of them. So, oh yeah, I get the process and I push it off. You have to do this. It is about that repetition, that practice day in and day out for a month straight to rewire the programming that you've set up inside of your own mind. If you don't do the work, you won't have the change. It won't be real change. You'll just build a delusion around it. So look at the exercises, review them, practice them, put in the work to really gain control over the negative thoughts. I'm also going to add a video in here to talk about the irrational beliefs of Albert Ellis, from his own philosophies that I offered in the first section as well, in the Intro to Mindfulness course. But in the Intro to Mindfulness course, that was an hour-long worth of content just in itself. I'm not going to spend that much time on it here. We're just going to review them really quickly. So I will see you in that video.